Whether your aquarium is big or small, you probably need to have a sponge filter in your tank. Hi everyone, Colin here. Welcome back to another aquarium video. This is a small little tank that I have, and it runs entirely on sponges. It has sponges in the back chamber and also a sponge in a little internal filter that runs in the corner. So the entire aquarium is biologically and mechanically filtered by sponges. And what I want to show you in my larger tank is how you probably need to have a sponge filter in there as well. But to show you, I need to remove the floating plants off the top. I've got floating plants in both tanks. I've got floating plants in here, which is duckweed, which is quite easy to remove with this comb. So that's how that floating plant is taken care of in my small tank. Doesn't take long, and it'll come back, but I can control it. My big tank, I couldn't control it, and I had to get reinforcements to help me get rid of duckweed from this tank. But as I've taken the duckweed away, another plant that also floats has taken over. It's Indian lace fern, which is covering the entire surface. The reinforcements I got for the duckweed, this is Rocket the comet goldfish, doing a great job on the duckweed, but the Indian fern, he doesn't eat that. So there's hundreds of these little fern babies that keep popping up and growing into larger plants. And these larger plants are easy to remove by hand, and they come out when I need to take them out, and they get sent off to people that I know, friends or family who have a fish tank. Now we can see what we're doing. This is where that sponge comes in handy in a larger tank. This tank runs on canister filtration, but there's a very, very small flow coming out of that outlet, and this is why. Down on the inlet I have a sponge, and that sponge acts as a pre-filter to mechanically catch debris before going down into the canister. It does such a great job that it gets so much dirt it totally blocks, and that reduces the flow. Remove the sponge for a clean, and all of a sudden that flow comes back, and that is meaning that my canister doesn't need a wash. So now I've got the dirty pre-filter sponge off my inlet. This will go down to the laundry trough, where I'll give it a rinse. Now, because it's not the main filter and it's not running biologically, all I have to do is just rinse it out under tap water. Whereas cleaning a canister filter might take you half an hour to disconnect, take away, wash, put the media back in, put it back in place, start the siphon and get it running. In the case of this pre-filter sponge, it takes about 2 or 3 minutes. Pull it off the inlet, take it to a trough, give it a rinse, and it's really quick and really easy. So that means my media in the canister is staying clear and clean for a lot longer. So I love these little sponges. So whether you have a canister filter inlet or a hang-on back filter inlet, both of which will take dirt straight in and block the media very quickly, unless you put a pre-filter sponge on it, which I recommend that you do, because your flow rate can be really strong for a long period if you have that mechanical sponge filter on the inlet. Now, having rinsed it, all I have to do is now slide it back up over the strainer, and once it's in place and the suction starts, it'll just hold there quite nicely. And this is how I start my filter maintenance on my larger aquarium. I first rinse the sponge. I can often go about 2 months before having to wash this sponge, so that's the first thing I do. Wait for the flow to slow down because the sponge is blocked, take it off, rinse the sponge, put it back on, and then I'll do a water change. The water change is I take off about 20% of the aquarium water, will then expose the return flow from my canister. and that return flow is now full since the sponge has been washed. I can look at that flow, see how strong it is and how powerful, and decide whether or not the canister needs also to be washed. In this case, no. All thanks to having the sponge in my aquarium. If you found this video helpful, why not watch another one coming up right now.